up, y'all? Welcome back to She Gets a Pod. This is a collab, okay? I'm having brunch at night. This is the Brunch Hour podcast with Styles. What's that?
Hey, yo. Hey.
What's good?
Everything is good. What's good with you?
Happy to have you. So,
yeah, actually, go ahead.
When you hit me up, I was like, okay, we gonna do this episode. Set a date. And I was just like, what topic am I going to do? So, you know me, because I'm a digger, I was like, let me go through his backlog of what he talked about already. Right? So I went all the way through like different episodes, different topics that you may have touched on. I was like, I don't see this in any of them. And out of all my shows, I haven't discussed this on it. So I was like, cool. I said I could do this and I could come up with topics within this to just go ahead and discuss. But through my research, I was like, okay, y'all started in 2018 with this podcast. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. I was sitting here scratching my head trying to figure out when we started. Oh, yeah.
September 25th of 2018. That's when I saw that first episode. I was like, okay, well, y'all started when I started podcasting. So I was like, okay, y'all 8 years in. And I'm saying y'all because he's doing this pod with his wife.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And y'all take deep dives into relationship topics, current events, adulting, work things,
yes.
work things, and I like that variety because it's realistic. Right. It's not vague BS that everybody else doing, so you can really get something from it, have a conversation with your people with it, and it's just an easy listen when it's relatable.
100%.
And y'all drop them weekly. So I was like, okay. I said, we're on the right page, right?
Yeah.
But recently, y'all been working on a new show. Do you want to talk about your new show?
We could talk about it. So the new show has a different co-host. It's my sister, Jess. It's called Hustle and Heal. I'll try to keep the ums to a minimum. And we talk about how regular people hustle. Don't necessarily give you advice on that. We weigh in on stuff, right? So we're building a community of people that really don't know how to do what they want to do, because it's a collective of ideas, and then we chop it up, you know. And then on the healing side, we talk about shit that people can we curse here?
Yes.
Oh, why? We talk about things like that. Switch up, right? We talk about things mental health wise that regular people are going through. You know, I'm talking about people from my block, my community, you know, my surroundings, our surroundings, so to speak. And because Jess gets paid to listen and offer advice, you know, she was the perfect fit alongside of the fact that she's a Leo like myself. So, yeah.
Leo energy. Okay. So, with that podcast, are you guys only doing it with just you guys, or are you guys looking to put on any guests later on?
We're always open to guests like this. Whenever I do a podcast and it's online, like Zoom or something like that, I'm really fucking with the person, because I don't like it because of the fact that I hate it, because I need to be sitting in the room, because I say a lot of off the cuff shit. And I need it to land the way, not be awkward, because you can't, you know, you're not picking up on my verbal cues or my, you know, my body cues and shit like that. So I like it better. The vibe is different. So if we do something like that, because I am one of the podcasters that literally leaves my block, like I'm outside. So I hop on a plane because it's content, right? We are content creators. So go get some content, you know. And I'll come to you, or we'll meet in the middle or something like that. But the reason why on a lot of them you don't see guests is because we haven't gotten to them, or vice versa, you know, because when we do have guests, it's a special moment. So
gotcha. So let's see here. For me, I think podcasting with the right people is very important.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like to pick my people. And if I don't know the podcaster yet, I take my time to get to know them. And so I'm just like, when you have said something, I'm just like, cool, I got this. Been on the show, know the vibe, we could do it.
Yeah.
So this topic is how to tell your partner uncomfortable things, right? And I picked this topic because this is a mixed variety. You're coming from a married mind. I'm coming from a single and been in relationship mindset.
Okay.
I think a lot of times when certain topics are brought up or certain issues are brought up in relationships, a lot of people answer or say what they would do versus their own from their own experience, and sometimes your own experience doesn't fit in the equation, right? And so I think being in a relationship already is not something easy to do, and then to be in a relationship with someone and not so easy topics come up that need to be discussed, a lot of people sometimes can't read the room or they lack self-awareness.
Right.
And you know, you could be at an event or you could be at a party or you could be at home and you invited X, Y, and Z to the house, and this couple chose to argue about this subject here, where you might overhear and be like, okay, that's something private. Y'all need maybe to go outside or y'all need to go in another room to have this conversation. I think a lot of people battle with when to have the conversation, how to have the conversation, and how to bring it up. And I think if people knew other ways of saying certain things and when to say them, the relationship wouldn't be so bumpy. Certain things said wouldn't rub people the wrong way. And so I have a few topics that I thought of that might be hard to hear, not so easy to say, and maybe like difficult to take in without feeling automatically defensive. Just to see how you would say it, or when would it, when do you feel like it should be said? And so I'm going to pick your brain with them.
Okay.
Okay. So the first difficult topic I got is gossip. It could be family gossip. It could be close friend gossip. It could be work gossip. But for some reason, the person you're with has you in the middle of it. Is that something you might bring up on over text, on a call, or in person with your person?
But has me in the middle of it how?
Like your name was brought up, but you weren't in the room to confirm what was said. Somebody said you said something, and maybe they hitting you up through text and saying, what went on Tuesday where this was said, and why are you saying X, Y, and Z?
And this is being communicated through my significant other? Like,
so like your person is coming to you with this information.
Okay. So, I mean, first and foremost, she knows me.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what did you say when this person said that?
Yeah.
And why did this person feel so comfortable coming to you with this information?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know what it is. You just said gossip. So I'm just running with the surface level stuff. She knows how I am.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have shut that down immediately, because she might have brought it to my attention, but trust and believe that there was a resolution by the time that conversation ended when she was talking to so-and-so. And, you know, she just wants to hear my side of it. Like what you know, I already took care of that. Now let's talk about this, you know, that type of situation.
So when she brings it up to you, would it be by text, or phone call, or in person?
It depends on the level of egregiousness. Like what we talking about?
Okay. I don't know. I'm the type of person where I can't gauge the seriousness of what's being asked through a text.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather something be told to me on a phone or in person. Now, if it's something that's time sensitive and I don't want you running on assumptions of something, let's address it however it can be addressed at the moment. But if it's something that can wait till later, just to see, the mind frame on it and how well this was handled, and maybe next time can you handle it like X, Y, and Z? Because a lot of times in relationships, if you're not married, you don't learn how to handle certain things until you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's all about how you say certain things to people to let them know how you would want things handled when your name comes up in gossip, or
Mm-hmm.
gossip is brought your way. Just like your wife knows how to come to a solution before she even brings something to you just to clip it. That's something you learn over time. That's not something you know automatically, because everybody likes things done a certain way.
Yeah, but I think that comes with just knowing, getting to know your partner. I guess you never stop learning someone, but getting to know your partner. So we pretty much established that during the dating phase. Like, just we're both, Pisces not a sign, it's a water sign. Anyway, I'm a fire sign. So, my solution to everything is basically to lash out, and as I get older, I'm learning how to be a little bit more strategic with it. So,
Yeah. Pick your battles. Pick your battles.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is a bad session experience or a bad moment during that session. How do you bring that up with your partner? Like, is it like on a good night or a chill night? Is it, a few days later after something that you didn't like or an experience y'all had together? And is it a conversation that you're going to start by text? Or is it something you do on a call? Or is it something we talk about when you get home?
All right. So definitely talk about it when you get home.
Okay.
And preferably you bring that up when you're in a crowded space.
Why?
Public. So that person can temper their emotions. Like, if you don't just temper your emotions, but I'm about to let you know that head was trash. You understand what I'm saying? All of that teeth and I'm not with that. But it all, again, I think all of this circles right back to your partner and knowing your partner. So, like, I feel like almost as if those are questions that you ask during the dating phase. I'm married. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a little bit different because our sessions, they don't disappoint. Mm-hmm. However, we've gotten to this. She gonna fucking kill me. We've gotten to the point where it's like niggas dead ass will start laughing about some shit. Yeah. That ain't got nothing to do with that. And then, game over. Niggas is rolling over, going to sleep. That's just game over. But the shit is fucking hilarious. I don't know how we developed it, where it came from. Yeah. But we'll literally have like a whole laugh-in session. And then just...
I've done that before. And it's kind of like, what's so funny is just like, sometimes you tell them, sometimes you tell them after. It all depends on your person. But, you have some people where they take everything a bit harder. So you got to bring it to them a certain way. But I'm also the type of person where if I'm dealing with you, after I want to ask you your opinion on this or that, without getting into details, because I think the feedback is a part of the consideration.
Yikes. So you got the review and the survey part?
Yes! Yes, out of a 1 or a 2 or 10, what would you rate this? What would you like me to do different? Like, I think that's just consideration, and I feel like the longer your relationship, just like you said, you never stop learning your person, but you also have to bring in things that'll freshen the session.
No, absolutely.
But that's still a conversation first. Mm-hmm. Where you act certain things out because certain people are not with certain things. And you do learn some during the dating time frame. And then as y'all go further into the time of spending years with each other, it's just like, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, and then you learn what to suggest and you learn what to bring up. And then sometimes having that conversation is not about complaining. It could be about making something that you like a little bit better by trying something a little bit different. And you just got to know if your person is open-minded or they're just very much, this is the things that I like, don't come out this box. But that's also a choice. You chose.
And also a red flag, because you can't, there's no growth. So if there's no growth, now I'm stifled, I plateaued, and now you asking me to cheat. Why?
That's a whole nother conversation. Because you gotta know, like, if your person likes things to be a bit more spontaneous, or if they like things to be like consistent, where they know what you're going to do. Type of person where I'll let you freestyle it and show me, and then after a while, if it gets too predictable, I'm bored.
Yeah,
I don't want to know how you're gonna come at me,
because you already know, you predicted it. You got a whole crystal ball that works fine. Like, I can tell you exactly what's gonna happen. And as human beings, you know, it's our nature to chase the newness. So I want to chase the newness. So you shouldn't, you know, chase the newness because you think that it's keeping your person. You should chase the newness because you want to, you know, it's something. I'm trying to use another word other than new because it's about to come out my mouth again. Pause.
Fresh.
Yeah, that. You should always listen. We're not gonna go see. It's like watching the same. It's like watching Friends every season over and over and over and over again. As much as you enjoy it, you need something new. So it's the same thing. No, and I don't know why I use Friends, because fuck Friends. All right, fuck Friends. They didn't even have any. Amen to that.
You know what I'm saying? But even now, like, I still watch those when I'm in the mood for it.
Right.
But after a while, I want to watch a new show. I want to watch a new series. And
you go watch, you know, you might watch Girlfriends. You know what I mean? No?
Yeah.
I don't even like the look on your face right now. No?
Yes.
Cool.
Dipple and dapple. All right. The next difficult topic I got is passive aggressive attitudes that your mate might have. I don't know if you experience this, but sometimes men and women, instead of them say exactly what's bothering them, they carry out like this passive aggressive attitude throughout the day, or they say things a certain way where
never mind.
Or I'm fine.
After they just ask you to help them, and they and they're like, never mind, but you needed my help, like
And so when that's happening, sometimes you could be on the go, sometimes you could be on a trip, sometimes you could be at home, and I'm off. I took the day off to spend with you, but you giving me this toot, and I don't know where it's coming from. How do you approach that without ruining the rest of the day, or ruining the weekend, or ruining the trip? Is that something that you just maybe don't confront when you first notice it? We're just like, okay, I'm not going to bring it up. I'm going to just hold my tongue. You got to go to dinner. We're going to have drinks. We're going to eat. But if it keeps progressing, at what point do you say, okay, what's up?
I don't like to stash shit, because when I stash it, I explode. So I just like to, you know, but unfortunately, certain things are unavoidable. And I'm talking about from a marriage perspective. I'm not talking about from a dating perspective, because a dating perspective, I just turn your lights off. It's over. And then you go do what you want to do, what I want to do. And it doesn't matter, because, you know, you just call up somebody else from the bench. But when you're stuck in a situation voluntarily, when you're stuck in a situation and you're married, sometimes you might have to bite the bullet. I know that I've tried to bite the bullet, you know. It doesn't feel good though. And the reason why I say it doesn't feel good because it's basically, I don't know. I try to chalk it up to maturity. Maybe it's not maturity. Then I flip on the other side like, yo, son, but you changing. I don't want to change, right? But then hold on, change might be good. I'm maturing, but maybe I'm not maturing. Maybe I'm just caving. You know what I'm saying? And caving is not always good. We've raised kids. You understand what I'm saying? That just will be a problem a couple of years later. So why am I doing? So I don't know. It's tricky. There's no silver bullet for it. You have to know your partner, and you have to know how you guys communicate, and that's supremely important. And I'm sure that we'll bring that up throughout the course of the conversation a couple of times, because if you don't know how to communicate with that person specifically, the passive aggressive shit, you're gonna get your head knocked off every time. I promise you.
Yeah. I'm the type of person where if I'm bothered by something, depending on our proximity, like if you in one state and I'm in one state and I'm bothered by something, I don't have to talk to you until I want to talk to you about it, right?
Right.
If we in the same space, I'll probably pull you in a room and have the conversation just to get it out the way, because we have to be too close over time. But I'm like, if we're out and about and you're bothered by something or I'm bothered by something, I feel so phony not addressing something that's bothering me. Because, and vice versa, if something is bothering you all weekend and you didn't say anything to me, and I thought we had a good time and I thought you were like in good spirits, and then you tell me later on in the week, when you said this or when you did this, it really made me sad or angry.
Pisses me off.
I'm just like, what?
You was just smiling in my face.
Yes, and I'm like, I thought you were having a good time, and then in my mind, I'm just like, here I am thinking I know you,
right?
But you know how to save face so well that you can not fake, but you can.
Nah, fake is appropriate.
Okay, you can
fake.
Put on a face.
Fake, just say it.
And act like you're cool, but you're not. For the sake of you wanted it to be a good time, or you wanted to be cool. You didn't want any problems. That's why you didn't bring it up. And I'm just like, no. Like, I'll respect the fact that you wanted me to have a good time.
Right.
Or I wanted you to have a good time. But at the same time, you got to think about the fact that you're also allowed to enjoy this time too. And
even still, like, if
you're robbing yourself of a good time for the sake of looking like.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some forked tongue shit going on. Because, like, for instance, yeah, you are allowed to have a good time at the same time, but you know what? You just fucked up both of our experiences by carrying that shit for a whole week. So now everything that I thought that we had was.
Thank you.
So now I got to reevaluate it, and I need a do-over. And my do-over can't even be there. It has to be somewhere else now.
And then it makes me think, like, how many other times were you not in good spirits, but you acted like it?
I let you say it because I was going to let that ride. But yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know? So I'm the type of person, like, if something's bothering you, please respectfully address it to me. Don't tell me a week later. Don't tell me a month later. Don't bring it up when we're like on the cusp of a breakup. Well, you did this 3 months ago and I didn't say anything.
She said, use it or lose it.
What? Like, what are you talking about right now? But yeah, definitely address it.
Okay.
Okay. If you have to explain your whereabouts, maybe last night, and something's not adding up. Do you have that conversation through text, or call, or in person?
In person. Because I need you to see my eyes. I need you to look through me and, turn your lie detector on full blast and let's go. Let's do that. Like, I was once upon a time that guy, but I am no longer that guy. And to be honest with you, and, for anybody getting into a situation where they're thinking about marrying that person and having to let go the squad. You understand? Like, it is one of the best feelings to know that you don't have to hide shit. You don't realize how much shit you carrying around until you let it go. You understand what I'm saying? And after you let it go, you float to the fucking clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thing. But it is definitely in person. We're not doing nothing through text. I don't need to have to re-explain anything later. And then over the phone, if there's an awkward pause, maybe because you're tying your shoe, you understand what I'm saying, or I'm driving and trying to focus, or my ADHD just kicks in. I need, I don't want you to then go into overdrive with your thought process, and vice versa with me too. Because I live inside my head sometimes.
Listen. The worst thing you can give me as an air sign, as a Gemini, is time to think.
Yeah, but I heard y'all are nuts anyway, though.
We are nuts.
Yeah,
but sometimes the nuts could work in your favor.
For sure, you got like 7 different detectives living in there.
Listen, it's hard. It's hard out here. Okay, and in here. Okay, but we get it done. Let's see. Okay, this would be like if you live with your person and y'all sharing finances.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing up a question of, did you pay the mortgage? Because I got a letter in the mail, you're not here, and they're saying this didn't get done. Or did you send in that check for the IRS that I gave you last Tuesday? Like, it's life. Like, sometimes I'm home, you're not. Sometimes you're home, I'm not. Sometimes I might be on the train, I might be on a trip, and important things got to get paid. This is not a text. This is a call. Or I need you to come handle this ASAP because they're not going to let me leave without seeing this document or proof of X, Y, and Z. Like, you might have to have the discussion after the fact of getting it corrected as soon as possible. But how do you have a conversation with someone that you put something very important in their hands and they didn't handle it the way that you felt like they should?
Well, this is the part that we talk about a lot as far as adulting is concerned.
Yeah.
If you're sharing this is what I tell everybody. Well, people that I love and care about. Leave the person if the person can't do business. Reason being is because if the person can't do business or doesn't have a concept of business, they can't be a good partner. Right? If they can't be a good partner, I'm talking about a partner in life. You think that a partner of a corporation, if we start a business and you don't pay the light bill and it's your job to make sure that your responsibility to make sure it's done, and we're not having a conversation about it prior to, that makes you a good partner, you will no longer be partners and nobody frowns upon it, right? So it's the same thing when you're in a relationship, especially if you're sharing finances. If you're sharing finances, these are the things that make that household run, i.e. that business. You get me? So I would never want you to be in a position where you have to cover something that you might not be able to cover, right? Because I blindsided you. But if you knew that it was coming, and everybody has issues, what I make. Like, I literally show my wife my my tax, everything, all the documents. Like, here, this is it. We talked about X, Y, and Z, but I'm in sales, so of course that fluctuates. But it was like, here, look at this. So she knows what we're working with. My situation is a little bit different. She lives in Dallas. I live in New York. We're working on getting a house in Dallas, so I'm getting out of this fucking shithole. But
congrats.
Yeah, New York is through and through. Like, I'll keep the attitude and everything else that comes with it, but this everything like robbing me, you're not gonna do that.
You grow out of that, and especially when you experience a different place of peace, you see where your money could go.
Yeah. Because the suburbs out there, right, are different. So I compared it. I was like, the suburbs out here, you might as well call those projects, because I went out there. And these aren't projects. These are, whatever. But you go out there and it's like, hold on. You mean you made all of this brand new and it only costs this amount of money?
Right.
Meanwhile, New York is giving you old shit in the closet and charging you all your money.
With a little bit of fresh paint over it.
Yo, for real. And then the paint, they didn't even fresh paint. They used that to paint the apartment next door.
It's crazy, yeah. It's just one of those things where I feel like priority wise, I never had to live with somebody I was in a relationship with yet. One, I've seen my brothers go through. I was like, nah, I don't have the patience for it. Two, I don't know what it's like to trust a man to financially
what are you supposed to do? Well,
not even like
don't make me do a deep dive.
No, but like just like is it depend on?
It is a certain level of dependency because that comes with trust. So yes, if his responsibility is X, Y, and Z,
yeah.
Initially, I guess because your personality is going to require a certain level of oversight. Yeah. She gonna be on his helmet every fucking day.
I'm such a planner. Whereas if I like, for instance, it's summertime. I started buying my daughter's school supplies already. They don't go back till August.
Makes sense.
I'm a preparer. If I have extra, this is what I'm going to do with the extra. I'm a prepare for what's to come. I'm going to research who has the best price before I buy it. I'm going to pay more so I have cushion later.
But see, that's an asset, though. It should be an asset to him, especially if he falters, in that lane. Like, he can't. Like, for me, that'd be perfect. I'm horrible at budgeting. I look at an entire number and then I look at what I want. You get what I'm saying? So I can look at my entire check, but I'm like, all right, cool, but I need this over here, and that's $700.
Yeah.
And I'm like, doesn't matter. It's gonna come out of that one way or another.
It's just and I'm the type of person where if I'm like that, the person I'm with, I need them to be better than me financially, and not in a better than me financially with more money, but just know how to make my money grow better than I already do. How to utilize what we have better than I already know. Because I'm the type of person where I like to be with a man I can learn from. I don't necessarily want to be with a man I have to hold their hand and teach.
Page out of my book, because I get bored super duper quick.
Yes. So if you can give me knowledge, show me a better way, help me be more efficient, I can also look at your plate and say, okay, how can I ease your plate? How can I make the things that you need to get done easier, lighter? You can be a bit freer. Then that's good for me, right? But it takes a certain person that you have to learn in order to put big things in their hand, like a mortgage or paying the IRS,
right?
Taking care of a business bills, because that's a lot of what people don't understand is when you own a business, it's like having another household.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You got an extra light bill, you got an extra water bill, you got employees.
I mean, if you have a brick and mortar, though, like this is 2025. Anybody with a brick and mortar is kind of insane. Like, I'm not
insane, but is what you're doing a need for society, or is it a want for society? I think if you have a brick and mortar and it's a need for society, you're good because you'll always have a rotation of customers.
Give me a for instance, because Toys R Us went out of business for that exact
mechanics.
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. Yes, mechanic, yes. But even still with that, me living in New York, most of the ones that you go to, they're in their backyard. Yeah. So it's kind of like, mechanic, barbershops, they putting them shits in vans now. So they're like mobile jobs. Because, you know what I'm saying? So the whole evolution of it. But I get what you're saying. That's not to take away what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. It is a different realm.
And that's why I think it's hard when you might find two people who are on a different avenue of career.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that works a 9 to 5 under a corporation versus the mindset of somebody that works for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the way that you might risk things might be completely different. Sometimes the way that you might take on opportunities to excel might be a bit different. Somebody might be a bit scared to go out on a limb for themselves. The other person, that I don't have another choice. There's no cushion for me. I'm always used to showing up for myself. This is my attitude towards this. And sometimes when you're trying to make that relationship work, it could be scary to somebody that wants to know this is what my check's going to be in 2 weeks.
But this is the thing. Not because we literally just had that conversation on Hustle and Heal, talking about like our partner.
Yeah.
And my take on it was like, for instance, I'm a creative. For me to be with somebody that's not a creative or an entrepreneur, it wouldn't work because you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. And just like you said, the risk, your risk tolerance is a little bit different from mine.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? So because you're like, I need that 401k. I still am from, I'm still cut from the cloth of, yes, I do need that 401k, but that 401k is just an ends to a means for me. For you, it's like, yo, I need to be, have this saggy skin on a beach when I'm 65. And I'm like, that's not going to work. Like, you got to understand, you open up your third eye.
Yeah.
Tricking us all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're on the beach right now with your money. So it's kind of like, yes, to speak into your point without going off into a crazy tangent.
I just there and that brings me to like this thought of like sometimes when people break up, it's not because of cheating. It's not because they did something malicious. Sometimes once you get to learn a person, you can see into the future and be like, the risk I'm willing to take on myself for my career are going to scare you. You can't be with me. You're a great person, but go find your person. And that's what that is right there, is like knowing this personality and how they want to live won't match yours.
Right.
And that will eliminate a lot of difficult conversations, because the thought of being with somebody where I got to explain why I did what I did or why I do what I do all the time aggravates me.
But the thing is, though, remember, even still, just, going back to, I guess, counter what I said as well. Yes, I couldn't be with somebody that wasn't an entrepreneur or have an entrepreneur mindset. Right? But at the same time, though, entrepreneurs wild and crazy, right? Because we don't understand the word no. Like, tell me I can't do something. And that was before I was an entrepreneur. Just tell me I can't do something, and I'm gonna promise you I'm gonna get it done 10 times better than
I'm gonna find another way to do it. Yes.
But you both don't want to crash and burn, right? So we don't want to do that. So you still need somebody with a strong, I guess, foundation as it relates to the 401k and stuff like that to temper your emotions and spending habits, when you're thinking about building a business and stuff like that. So you have to get with somebody that's actually smart. You get what I'm saying? Like, smarter. I don't want to say smarter. Yeah, I do want to say smarter than you. But that's going to emotionally smarter than you.
Yes, it can be smarter than you in other areas.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, money, assets, but I kind of look at the stock exchange and tell you what's happening. But I would, what I'm saying? I would like to be with somebody who could.
But the thing is, though, right? And when you do find them, and I'm going to make this super duper quick. When you do find them, the way I look at stocks is this, right? Because I lost a lot of money on AMC. I'm like to the tune of 23 grand. But hold on. This is the thing, right? When as it relates to stocks, you got to be inside trading to really capitalize when you think about it, right? Because these companies are being fueled off of money that you're giving them. Right. To potentially make some money. So they don't tell you when to take the money out and I can actually enjoy it. Meanwhile, you running your company off of my fucking money. You're running your company off of my money, right? And the only thing I get to do is look at my money on paper. I don't get to spend this shit. And the moment that I do, now I'm back at zero because I got to start all over again and find another opportunity and stuff like that. Stocks is funny. It's funny business.
Yeah, you got to know when to pull out. Pause. In life too, with people.
Right, big facts. Yeah, big facts.
All right. Okay. This is a funny one. Mostly women be in this one. Are you hungry? Or do you want to go here? No, and you go. You get your thing.
Yeah.
Now they want some, or they mad that you didn't bring them something, even though they said they wasn't hungry. Well, you know, I like this.
Yeah.
I mean, if that happens earlier in the relationship, no biggie.
Right.
But after like year 6 of this shit, come on, man, like stop.
But you both should know better, though. Like, how do you not on both sides? Like that shit really on year 6, it shouldn't even happen. It shouldn't happen.
Right.
You know how they say, like, Jesus take the wheel? You're like, Mama, take the wheel. Like, this is your show. You running it. Whatever you eat, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, I'm going to find something on the menu that I am going to eat. If I'm going to stop and get something, I'm just going to get you something.
Yeah.
I know what you want. I know what you like. I'll phone it in. You understand? I'll call it in. She's not really, because she's a foodie. So she's not really, she is particular, but she's not crazy like that. Like,
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think that I'm the person in the relationship doing that. Because every time we go to Starbucks, we pull up to the drive-thru and she's like, yo, she gets her drink. And I'm like looking at it, looking at the menu like it's a fucking science project.
It's the same menu yesterday.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I always end up trying something new. Never experiment at Starbucks. But I get it. And then we'll get the same thing. And then her shit always just tastes better. And I'm like, let me get yours. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah. I've seen people do that, but I've never had to experience that. And I would like to say, I'm not the woman that's eating off of my man's plate. But I have been with a man who puts food on my plate from his plate that he got. And out of reciprocation, try this of what I have. But I'm not reaching over in no man's plate after I already ordered what I wanted.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just not me.
Yeah. It's just like, I just want to put that out there.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I got you.
Okay. I lost money that we need. Is that a conversation through text, a call, or in person?
How'd you lose it?
Could be gambling. Could be I put it in this thinking I was going to make more.
Oh, no.
This happened, or I gave it to such and such. They were supposed to give it back to me on Friday. I didn't tell you because I would have been had it. So I thought X, Y, and Z.
Well, it's not a regular occurrence from what I'm gathering. And if that's the case, I think, all right, so boom. Let's take it here. I love the fuck out of my woman.
Right.
So it's not even like I'm not going to hit the roof. Like the fact of the matter is I do love her. I know she's not going to do something crazy. So she calls me and she's like, boom, boom. I'm solution based. So the first thing I'm going to do is like, all right, cool. So what do we need to do to make this happen and blah, blah, blah. And then we might revisit what happened and have a laugh over it. It's a lesson. We're not perfect. I know she ain't outside, basically doing dumb shit with it.
Yeah.
Nice
game.
Yeah, exactly. Playing low in somebody's back alley.
Right. Y'all have y'all grades down, so that's good. Okay. Sexual test results. Is this a text, a call, or in person?
Wait, time out. As a married couple?
It could be married. It could be dating.
I can't speak from a dating perspective. Like, if we dating and like,
this is my thing too, because we have to be aware of where I'm at. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a petri dish. Yeah.
Texas is another one.
Ooh.
Louisiana is another one. Florida is another one. I think the way people are going about relationships, period, right now, is tricky. The way people disrespect marriages right now, tricky.
Blame it on social media.
We could. I'm the type of person where, regardless of me being single, in a relationship, or married, I'm still running that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just like I take care of me, if I'm dealing with you, I want you to take care of you also. So I want you to know what's the up and up with you.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything, popping up, or if I just did it and nothing's the issue, I'm having a conversation like, hey, I got this run. Would you like to see them? Would you like to see the test results?
Mm-hmm. That's in person. Right?
Whenever I'm dealing with people, I go do my tests. I got all the results back. Hey, I got this done. Do you want the results? No, I'm good. Thank you for asking. I've gotten that.
Okay.
I just think if anything's an issue on there, you got to know your person enough to know, like, is this a phone call or is this a text?
Oh yeah, but I think that that's a really sensitive topic for a number of reasons. You know, because again, like I said, I'm saying it for the first time, but most of us live inside our heads. So it's like, all right, cool. You doing that because what? You think that I'm doing something? That was like a
right, but I feel like that. I think that's why it needs to be a regular thing, because people think it comes with more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't come with more. It's like, shit. I went to my dentist appointment. You want to see what my dentist said? I went to get my physical. You want to see my cholesterol at?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It's a part of your body. It's a part of your life. But there's things on there that might affect you too.
Right. But see, again, like I said, it's even still, your dental doesn't affect me at all. Like, I'm not going to get mouth from kissing you. That ain't going to happen. You get what I'm saying? So, again, with you, going back to what you said, it's all about knowing your person. But I think that all of those things should be done in person, though. Like, that conversation should be brought up in person, because you don't want that uncomfortable silence from either text because it took you 10 minutes to respond, or I'm on the phone and my ADHD just keeps
the 3 dots going and then stop, going and then stop.
Exactly, because I just seen a fucking Deborah across the street, and I'm like, yo, this is weird, But yeah, that should be one part of your routine. I don't know how often, but part of your routine. And yeah, it should be a conversation, especially if you're raising kids. You want to instill that in them, So
like at least once or twice a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. My last one that I got that I think is important. Depending on how y'all are to each other.
Right.
I think if you're dating, this might not be something you need to bring up. You just peep it and you're just like, hey, do your thing. If you're married, this might be something important. Gaining or losing weight. There's levels to this, because one might be your stress, you're grieving, you have a life change, medically you're going through something,
right?
Maybe you're taking birth control, maybe you're pregnant, or you just had a baby 4 months ago, maybe you're pre-diabetic. And I know this because your doctor said something about it when we went to the appointment together. But we have a plan on having a baby later on. And for women, it's better if they're within a certain weight in order to conceive. How do you have that conversation with your person? Is it encouraging at first? Is it like, hey, I'm going for a walk, come with me? Hey, I'm going to the gym. You want to come? Or is it, hey, I'm making a smoothie, or let's do this salad for 2 weeks. Like, is it suggesting, encouraging first?
Well,
Like, you really got to know the personality of your person on how to approach it.
For sure, 100%. And I'll be, I probably, I definitely can speak to this. Like, right now, it's like my summer body's been on layaway for like 3 years.
Layaway.
Like 3 years. I make no bones about it because I was an athlete.
Yeah.
Upon a time. So I already know what it is, and I know what I want to look like versus what I'm currently walking around with. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? If it's your partner or your significant other, here in America, we are super sensitive about this shit as we put shit into our bodies that should not go in. But we're sensitive about the effect that it's having on our bodies. You should approach it delicately. All right. But at the same time, I don't think that you should be like suggestive. You should say what you mean. Because it has to be a conversation. You should also go down that journey with them because everybody needs that ear to bend or, that coach, so to speak.
Right.
Different if you're doing it side by side. Like right now, like I fast for 16 hours a day, every day. But it's different if I had somebody to help me fast. Because Monday I broke down. I was like, fuck this at 12 o'clock. I'm hungry. Where the fuck is my phone and where's this Uber Eats guy?
Yeah.
You understand? And then ended up just going left, flipping the car and all types of dumb shit. But it's better if you do it with someone. So again, like I said, approach it delicately, but from, a very sincere side of the fence. Don't say it because it's like, yo, I remember your ass was popping. Now that shit, now that shit is just wide. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. But no, yeah, that whole thing.
I think it's I think when that's happening, especially, I think it's consideration. I think it's responsibility to keep in mind, how did this person meet you?
Mm-hmm.
When you met this person, were there things that you liked about this person that you wanted them to maintain?
Of course.
Yes? Okay. Well, take that same consideration and think about when they first met you. Was there there might be things about you that they wanted you to maintain? And I think out of consideration, I think it's easy for, I'm going to speak for women to be like, okay, yeah, I got older now. I had a couple of kids now. This is my body now. You say you love me now, but don't lean on that too much because it kind of can get unfair to be like, since you love me, I don't have to be better anymore.
All right. So you're talking to the women.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear.
It's if you love me, I ain't got to do Z anymore. I got you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that I got you mindset can get a lot of people caught up because it's kind of like, now that I got you, I don't have to try. I don't have to court you no more.
Yeah.
I don't have to wow you no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfair to the person that you're with. And I think when you have kids, just for me, I don't want to take pictures of my kids 10 years from now and I don't recognize who's in the pictures with them. And I don't want my kids to have to take care of me too early when they're supposed to be out living their lives because I didn't want to take care of myself.
Amen to that.
And some people medically, they can't help it. Some things are hereditary. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of sicknesses that our grandparents had and our parents have could be prevented if we take care of ourselves sooner and better.
Put the McDonald's down. Like, well, this is this is the thing.
Yeah.
Living in America, right? And it's not to give any person that's gaining weight or overweight an excuse. This is the truth. Living in America, they don't make it easy because there's hormones in damn near everything, right? Even down to the vegetables now, because I know when I was growing up, there was still probably shit in the meat and stuff like that. But as far as the vegetables were concerned, they didn't get to that. It was just literally pesticides. But now it's like everything is GMO. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everything is fucking.
It's like carrot in the store as big as your arm right now. It's crazy.
Crazy work. Like, what do we, so, and when you start to realize that a lot of the shit that we eat here is banned in other countries, you like, wait a minute, why? You can't even eat fucking Trix, the cereal, because the shit is fucked up. Frosted Flakes is not sold in the UK, right? The coloring that they use in Gatorade is carrot juice. For like red, Gatorade, as opposed to here, it's a fucking chemical. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So you really losing weight nowadays is more than going to the gym. Like, it's an entire lifestyle, which is super duper difficult. Like, I've been paying Planet Fitness for about 5 years now, and I don't think they've seen me since COVID. Yeah, and they still, matter of fact, they hit me the other day and was like, yo, your payment failed. Motherfucker, you haven't even seen me. Why are you charging me? Like, you
so crazy. When you want to cancel, you got to go in to cancel. You can't.
That's not even crazy. That shit is ludicrous. Like, what the fuck? And yes, that is an absolute fact. They have to see you, and then crazy.
It's like, this is a personal choice, but I think more than anything, you have to be with someone who's willing to do it for themselves. Not be better for me, be better for your kids, be better for you first. Mm-hmm. Because once you're better for you first, everybody's going to benefit from you being better for you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so easy to get caught up in going to work, doing stuff for the kids, cooking this. I didn't have time, so I wanted to pick up this pizza. I didn't have time, so I just got them wings. I didn't have time, so I ate chips. Like, I like things that taste good. Mm-hmm. I'm from Philly, where there's a corner store on every block. Mm-hmm. I lived in New York, where there's a bodega on the corner somewhere.
Which is still our corner store.
Listen, and I'm just like, even though I like the things out of there, I can't eat that every day.
Right.
Even though I like a bagel smothered in cream cheese, I can't have that every day because I don't have boundaries. Right. Even now, like being in my 30s, going to the grocery store, it's hard for me not to pick up the chocolate that I like to eat. Mm-hmm. Because I know I have the money and can't nobody tell me no, but I have to tell me no.
Right.
And I fast, but my fasting is not as drastic as yours. Mine is just like once it's 8:30 to 9 a.m., I'm not eating anything. Mm-hmm. I missed my dinner time. I was out and about getting stuff. I missed my dinner time. Chuck it. Tomorrow morning, when I break my fast, is watermelon and cucumbers. Mm-hmm. And some shots of soursop that taste disgusting, but I know the benefits of it. Mm-hmm. And I have to think like, okay, with my family coming from a Caribbean family, I don't know anybody in my family that works out.
Where's your family from?
Jamaica.
Okay.
My father's side and my mom's side.
Nice.
So I don't know anybody that works out, but I know people who just have a small physique, or they're just skinny and they just eat what they want. But just
remember, then anything outside of these borders is
yes, but I'm talking about the ones that don't even live there anymore. So now you eating what I'm exposed to.
Right.
Food is not the same. Right. So like even looking at my brothers, I'm just like, yeah, on the outside you look fit, but what's the numbers like? Mm. What's that salt intake like? What's that blood pressure like? Like I got a brother that works with his body every day, owns his own business, but you battling gout. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like choices, and it is a life change because you have to change the things that you eat.
Right.
And a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people are just like, You know, I'm pre-diabetic. I guess they told me I can't have soda, but I just like Sprite or I like Coca-Cola, and I'm just like that's an addiction.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. More than anything, their relationship with food is insane.
Right.
But again, what we do. All right. So just look at how our society is structured. Right, everything is pretty much based around food. If you're watching TV, it's based around food. If you go to a game, you're eating food and you're drinking shit that you shouldn't be drinking. If you go to a concert, you're drinking shit that you should. Like, it's all surrounding beverages and food. Everything. You can't name anything that doesn't. Like these dining theaters now that are popping up all over the place. It's because they're serving food. You get what I'm saying? So we have to. It's ill because you're asking somebody who never had to express that level of discipline to express and learn that level of discipline. It's a little bit different. You get what I'm saying? Especially if you have a high metabolism your whole life and all of a sudden 4 months later, boom. You understand what I'm saying? Where the fuck did this come from and how do I get rid of it? you know? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would definitely have that conversation in person. Are there any difficult topics that will come up in a relationship that we did not talk about that is common? Oh, this is one. Your friend hit on me.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? That's not, in my opinion, that's not something you text.
No. I've had that happen.
It's not something you call,
Yeah.
you're pulling up or you're coming home to let me know. As a matter of fact, let's go to this person's place if they're close. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, let me tell a quick story. So, some years ago, my son's mom, my brother and I, we started a magazine, Whips, Chicks, and Bikes, Cars, Women, and Motorcycles, huge on the underground with these, the whole motorcycle circuit with these clubs. So one of the guys, because we had models as well, like that traveled with us and stuff like that. So one of the guys at a motorcycle, I was almost called him a gang. That's funny. He was in a motorcycle club,
right.
And his girlfriend worked with my son's mom at the time. And that's how we became cool. And one day he had to come to the crib to do something. I forget, but my son's mom was there. Whatever, blah blah blah. They met, boom, boom. They shook hands and whatever. We did what we had to do. Pause, and then he left. So she comes home like a week later, and she's like, "Yo, this dude Tony, blah blah blah, yeah, hit me." But she was like, it was off though. Like, I don't understand like why, he was, and then she just went into the conversation. Like he was like hitting on me. I was like, what? And ironically enough, like that weekend there was a bike event because every weekend we went to bike events. So my brother, who was, is my partner with the magazine. My brother went to cover the event. I didn't for one reason or another. So I had told him about it, and he was incensed when it happened. But he's not. He's a man of few words. We're gonna talk about blah blah blah, but we ain't. He's not gonna go crazy. He sees him. He calls me. He was like, "Yo, I'm at the event. Guess who I see?" I'm like, "Who?" He was like, "Tony. He right here." I'm like, "Word?" Put him on the phone. So he was like, "Yo, listen, my brother want to talk to you, right? And if he say beat your ass, I'm gonna beat your ass right motherfucking now. If you give me the word." You was trying to talk to my brother, girl? He was like, "Nah, that wasn't the case." All right, here you go. Put him on the phone. And I lost it on the phone. But being a responsible dude that I was, I'm like, I can't bail my brother out of jail. You know what I mean? My sister would never forgive me if if I gave the green light and this dude went to jail for that shit. We was just talking about that the other day too. But nah, Tony got off. And it's definitely an in-person conversation, and it shouldn't be something that you want to hide. You know, you want to have any other way, or even wait to have the conversation, because that just would infer that you was with it.
Right.
Well, what were you doing? Nah, she came home and was like, "This fucking clown." He almost got his ass beat too. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's like, definitely an in-person thing. Just because there's so many levels of it. Like, why did you think that was cool?
Yeah.
You know, what was your response to it? How should I handle this going forward? Like, there's so many levels to it. But my whole point with this is sometimes relationships are easy breezy. You'll never deal with these difficult topics, but sometimes you do. Mm-hmm. And the longer that you're together, things are going to come up. And I think if you could pick each other's brain through the process of the relationship, about what would you do when, or if this situation popped up, how would you handle it? Mm-hmm. You're one, going to better get to know your person. Two, be prepared. And three, have a better understanding of what to do if you're wrong about your approach.
Right.
And the best way to have things go smoothly is to be preventative, to me.
Preventative? Explain.
Preventative in a way of, oh, we talked about this. I know what to do without having to call them. Or this doesn't have to be bigger than it needs to be because we already discussed this. Mm-hmm. Mentally, we're prepared for this.
So you want to be proactive, not reactive.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes, because a lot of times what Chantal would say doesn't need to be said.
That's your government?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't know that.
What I would do is not something they would want to be done. And I think out of respect, certain decisions that you make, certain things that you do, you include your person.
All right. This is what I want to do. Let's flip this on its head for the last remaining whatever.
Okay.
So I enjoyed the conversation. I do want to say that first. You're an excellent conversationalist. I definitely felt part of the show. So you have a significant other or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So without digging too much in your business, so what do you do, like, in terms of, because to be honest with you, if I were dating a podcaster, I would streamline the getting to know you part, right? Because I would hope that you were genuine when you were on the mic. Pause. So if you are,
yes.
Right. So if you are, just send me episodes that I should listen to. And if you don't, then I'm just sifting through these 5. You know, and then when I do something, because I'm looking to point something out anyway. So when I'm doing something and then you act indifferent to it, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
Right.
I got to pull the files and be like, but you said over here, does he listen to the podcast?
Some of them, yes, but not everyone. But at the beginning, it's so funny that you said that. I would send him episodes on some things just so you could get an idea of who I am or how I am.
Yeah.
And then there's some that I had to like, oh, we're going to exclusive this.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Just because.
You're not getting this one, because if he gets this one, he's going to be like, hold on, what the files?
No, he'll hear it. But my thing is like, earlier on, there's certain things that we haven't done that you don't need to listen to this one yet.
Copy. You're not there yet. This is the master.
I skimmed through.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, we're good here. But even with that, like, we had a conversation about what he's comfortable with me discussing, what he's not, or what he likes that I don't discuss. And there's just levels to it, because some people are open with their relationship, and some people are just like, no, like, that's between me and you. And so I kind of respect that. And as far as like my topics, they might be life related, but they're indirect. So I'm not gonna use no names. I'm not gonna be specific. It's gonna be general.
So how do you navigate that though? Because y'all can have beef. Like, y'all could have had beef 48 hours ago.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about that beef. Now, see me, I don't want to say.
And that's the thing. It wouldn't be 48 hours ago that I'm like, oh, I got a topic. It'll be like 2 months down the line. Mm-hmm. Let's go over this type of situation.
Do you use that conversation to try to prove a point? Let's say that you hit a brick wall and, it's like, all right, I hear what you're saying. I don't necessarily you don't understand what
I don't use it. I don't use it to kind of like prove a point, but I reiterate what my thoughts are that I already said in the conversation we already had. So my answer to whatever our issue is will not be in the show. I already gave you my answer weeks ago or a month ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We already handled this privately. I'm not gonna be in a bad mood and then you're gonna figure out why I'm in a bad mood on the show, because I think that's
this is like an audible poll.
Like we're not doing that.
Agreed with me. I handle it the right way. You would have said the same thing, right?
Right. No. So that's how I do it, but it's just like keeping things like separate and making you feel like this is a relationship with me and not what I do or my show.
Understood. So this isn't content.
Yeah. Like I don't even like post a lot about what we do or when we doing things. It's just like I'm very like chill about it. Like
right. Well, remember, nowadays, I guess, because I'm a little bit older than you. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, looking back at it, it's kind of like that's just a different way to celebrate, what you have. You get what I'm saying? And you literally have to be emotionally mature and intelligent, when you post certain things because you're opening it up to the world.
Right.
So you got to stop listening to the white noise. And it's kind of like now it's taking that book that your mom would pull out every time you brought over company, that little photo book, and you're like, look, and just start going through, and you're like, I don't want to look at that right now. But just that up more or less to the world. But I get what you're saying. Is he an entrepreneur as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's like me, not like 100% yet, but we do our thing.
Okay. Good. Well, there we go. And I'm gonna leave it there because it is a private relationship, so I don't want to delve too deep. So yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But any last thoughts on this, or tell the people where to find your shows?
Okay. Well, the Brunch Hour podcast is the Brunch Hour Pod. There's a dot in between, all of those on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok, where I am languishing and dying a slow death. We also have we have a we have a YouTube channel for both the Brunch Hour and Hustle and Heal. The Brunch Hour will be back. Last year we went on tour, which was pretty amazing. So we hit a lot of different cities before we circle back. And it will be back this year again. I don't know about the tour per se, but I can't do studio sessions with the Brunch Hour. It doesn't feel right. It's stuffy, and I'm just whatever.
Like a home setting, a chill setting.
Yeah. So last year what we did was we rented Airbnbs and we hit Dallas, Houston, Maryland, New York, of course, and Charlotte. So, we were all over there and whatnot. But it was a good experience. I got to actually meet podcasters that I hadn't, met in real life. So that was dope. Uncle Dolomite, which is another person that runs, I guess, in both of our circles. He came out to New York, and I went outside for that. Also, Hustle and Heal. I'm sorry. Hustle and Heal with my sister, Bless Jess. Right now we have 3 episodes that we chop up pretty consistently because she's in Charlotte. I'm in New York. So, and I told you about the in-person thing. Can't do the Zoom thing.
I appreciate it though.
Yeah, no, listen, again, like I said, I wouldn't have reached out if, because I don't do. So I wouldn't have reached out if we hadn't done some things in the past and the chemistry wasn't there. So I definitely appreciate you opening up your platform to me. Hustle and Heal. We also have, it's Hustle the letter N, heal. Available on all streaming platforms. We're on TikTok. Right now, we're trying to grow our YouTube channel as well because I'd love to get paid off of that. Just trying to figure it out. But yeah, that about that though.
Nice. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time and your thoughts. Continue, grow that. TikTok. I feel like TikTok is a faster grow than most platforms, but you just gotta find your people.
I don't know. Like, I think you got a pretty good thing going. Cause like, I swear to God, you know what it is? Cause when I go on TikTok, I guess a lot of people that I do follow, they be like, oh, he just hitting shit because he want. Nah, it's because I'm barely over there until I post something. So when I post something, I start scrolling. And then once I start scrolling, I'm like, well, goddamn, Shan's only posted 70 times since I was last here. You know what I mean?
Intentional poster.
Yeah, but what happened to the clothes thing? Because when you used to do the fit check, I love that.
I do them, but I take advantage of like my work week. So I'm hybrid for my work. Most of the time I work from home. So when you do see me post the fits, it's that week I'm at work at the office.
Yeah.
And I'm just like in motion.
I love for me because it has a lot of character. Because there's a very specific way in which you do it.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like, oh, she's just outside. No, I am a homebody. The only time I really put on clothes is like if I'm going to the office.
Okay, but yeah, that whole thing. So I just wanted to let everybody know that I am not just running through there just hard and shit. Like I play catch up.
Yeah, it's cool though, but better keep an eye out. We'll be dropping clips from your new show.
For sure.
Let you know when this drops. I'm pretty quick with the edits.
What does quick mean? I'm just asking. Not that I'm
like in the next 3 to 4 days, this might be done and up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Send me some clips. I definitely want to help promote.
Yeah. I guess you connect.
Yeah.
And this was She Gets a Pod. I appreciate you. Thank you. Y'all have a great night. Brunch at night.
Brunch at night.
Time to have brunch. You know what I'm saying? Good people. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on your social media, and leave a review and rating. To catch the latest from me, you can check out shambypodden.com or follow me on Instagram and Twitter at shambypodden. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you listen next time. Peace.